If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do it now so you don't miss the most exciting videos from the financial gurus of our time. We continue to bring you reviews of the most fascinating lessons from Robert Kiyosaki. And today, we present the next lesson, all about debt and credit and how to turn them into something useful. Intrigued? Let's begin. There are many people out there who say live completely debt-free. Some even insist that you should get rid of your credit cards. And for certain types of people, Robert agrees. It's good advice. He says, if you can't control your spending, you definitely should get rid of credit cards. But Robert himself cannot imagine life without them. He doesn't understand how you could rent a hotel, a car, or even enjoy a dinner at a restaurant without one. However, if you're a shopaholic, then yes, you must stay away from credit cards. So Robert makes an important distinction. There is good debt and bad debt. For example, a student loan is classified as bad debt. Why? Because it's the worst kind of debt. As a businessman, Robert can declare bankruptcy and start fresh. But with student loans, you can't do that. That debt will stay with you for life. So, he advises, don't take a student loan unless you are 100% sure you will graduate. Robert gives an example. He has two friends who became doctors. They graduated with $500,000 in student loans, but they paid it off in just 5 years thanks to their high salaries. Before starting families or doing anything else, their main goal was to clear that debt. But many people don't know what they want to do with their lives. That's the real problem with student loans. He recalls when he was 18 years old, many of his classmates were already making $110,000 to $120,000 a year. Meanwhile, his starting salary was just $47 a month. But he didn't care. For him, it was about choice. He could have joined a union like his classmates, but he didn't want that. Instead, he joined Standard Oil of California, where he worked as a delivery officer, making much less money, but staying true to his own path. As Robert explains, when you're young, it's hard to tell the difference between good choices and bad choices. At 22, he didn't care whether he was making $100,000 a year or not. Today, things are even more complicated. We don't always know which professions will pay well in the future. Even lawyers struggle because the market is oversaturated. Artificial intelligence is replacing accountants and other high-level jobs. So, Robert says, before you take on student debt, think carefully. Will you really finish what you started? Then he introduces the core concept, good debt versus bad debt. He draws a diagram with income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Most people think their house is an asset. Robert says no, your house is a liability. Why? Because it takes money out of your pocket through taxes, maintenance, insurance. The same goes for your car. Unless it generates income, it's a liability. There are 6 key words in financial education: income, expenses, assets, liabilities, and cash flow. Here's the difference. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. So, if you own rental property, that's an asset. If you live in a house, that's a liability. The same applies to cars, boats, or even credit cards. If they generate income, good debt. If they drain money, bad debt. Robert and his wife even own a boat. Most boats are a liability, but theirs is an asset because they rent it out. The main idea comes down to 2 words, cash flow. If money flows into your pocket, it's an asset, a good debt. If money flows out of your pocket, it's a liability, a bad debt. Robert also points out that most employees lose money to taxes, while entrepreneurs use the system to legally reduce or even avoid taxes. That's why he and Donald Trump emphasize entrepreneurship over being an employee. In conclusion, Robert says, don't be afraid of debt. If you know how to use it, debt can be your greatest tool. Can credit cards be good debt? Yes, if you use them for assets that bring income. But if you use them to buy a Versace jacket, that's bad debt. So remember, good debt brings money into your pocket. Bad debt takes money out of it. That's the lesson for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications. By doing so, you help us create more content for you. Subscribe, think smart, get rich.